Lance and Stephanie, where are you?
Please come back.
Poor Alice. We are still sitting here through therapy over that last one, but thankfully, no.
No, shoot.
It's not a show unless Jeffrey's throwing a shoe. Anyway, so yes, welcome back to the show. We've been thinking about this topic for a little while to talk about. We were looking for guests, and it was really hard because all the game developers like, this is a good idea, but we really can't talk about it because it's such a touchy subject, and they could lose a lot.
Well, also, a lot of game developers, this is getting close to the holiday season, so they're trying to put that make sure, because I contacted 4 guys. All of them.
I contacted 3, and they're like, "Oh, that would be amazing," but I'd come under a lot of fire.
Yeah.
Because I feel that today, as gamers, we are far too spoiled.
We should explain what it is first. What we're talking about.
Yeah, it's the rising danger of gamer expectations, written on the bottom.
AKA hype.
The hype machine, because we are expecting games that take 5 weeks to finish. They have to have sweat graphics and all these other things.
Sweat?
That was the big deal with Madden when they had realistic sweat graphics in Madden.
Madden?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I see. I know what you're talking about now. I thought you were being sweet.
These games that are constantly promising more than they can actually deliver because we have gotten to a point where we can't enjoy just the simple stuff. We used to be happy with something that took 2 hours, go outside, play, do other things. Now we want games where we don't do anything but sit there and play. Let's look at World of Warcraft, for example. That game never ends.
No.
But it's an MMO. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to have
but they do the things you got to wait in the queue for 7 years to get an axe. I have a friend who literally did that.
7 years?
It was almost 7 years before he got his axe.
That's unreasonable expectations. Okay. So Peter Molyneux, it's French. I have trouble. I apologize. Molyneux is the king of hype.
Wait, don't you mean Montague?
Whatever.
Let's just call the whole thing off.
Look, I have seen entire videos where the guys couldn't get his name straight, and these were professionals. Look at me. But what I'm saying is, he was famous for overhyping games. But I don't think a lot of times that it's the company's fault. I think it's our fault. Like an example like this. When No Man's Sky came out, not the game itself, but when the first trailer came out, there was a lot of hype for it. But a lot of that hype came from message boards because the internet is a wonderful place where you can go and go on.
Or a horrible, horrible place in the case of the new Ghostbusters movie.
Right. But what I'm saying is, in this case, that you saw 20 minutes of footage and people were like, "Did you see this? Where this guy did this? You saw this thing? That means you could do this because of the gravity." Blah blah blah. People are dissecting and they're adding hype. And also, you're dealing with the companies who are now spending. Let's take the indie games out of it for a little while. The AAA guys are spending millions upon millions of dollars to make one game title, which means they need to sell millions and millions of those titles to make their money back.
The only reason they're spending so much is because we have expected so much.
No,
there are plenty of games out there that are simple and easy, like the indie games that we have fun with. They're pick up and go.
But they're long and expensive.
I think you were going to say something. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no.
Actually, I probably did, but
I'm seriously in the middle for a reason today. You guys are just extremely heated, but I kind of believe it's a mixture, to be honest, because from a business standpoint, since I have a bit of a business mind, you want the hype as a company because the more hype you have, the more people are anticipating it, the more pre-orders you get and things like that. But I guess to Pocky's point, some of it can come from fans simply dissecting stuff, like using Overwatch as an example, and that's one of the top titles right now. People are trying to figure out what Soma is, and they're just literally dissecting riddles and things inside of games, inside of Twitter posts and things like that Blizzard is purposely leaking to try and lead up to what this is. So Blizzard's purposely doing it to make the hype happen, to make people want to see what it is, to buy the game, to whatever. So a lot of it can be purposeful, and a lot of it can be simply accidental when people are going far too far.
But I don't think you need that much hype because you will never be able to live up to it.
But the problem with hype is it's a snowball.
I just wanted to say snowball.
I was just that's the word of the day, snowball.
So, but what I'm saying is let's take No Man's Sky as an example because that's one of the ones we're going to go to a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys did a 30-second trailer at E3 2 years ago.
True, but they also promised a lot of things themselves outside of the trailer. My favorite thing that's been hitting the internet this week is the trailer footage where it's all beautiful and they've got the majestic creatures, and then what you actually find is the walking dog with feathers and a T-Rex head.
I actually streamed this right before I came over, and I've been singing its praises. Oh, it's not like that. The PC version works perfectly. Lo and behold, what happens as soon as I load up the game and I'm already streaming, I'm inside the planet, not on top of the planet. I'm inside the planet and I'm falling into water that no one can see, and
You're
I
at
can't
sub-ocean.
swim out. So I'm hitting the inside of a mountain, trying to get out. And then when I just load the game again, thinking, you know what? I don't want to try and die. I'm just going to do that. It loads me inside my ship and I'm flying. I'm like, what the heck? I'm supposed to be on the planet. So, and then the game crashed later on. It just completely killed all of my positive hype for it. It was funny.
I think hype, what I mean is by a snowball effect is, fans will build up its hype. Companies will add hype, but the problem is even adding one layer of hype, like revealing a new character. All of a sudden, like, speculations who the new character is, speculations of what their combat ability, how does this balance game, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden your message boards go from, hi, look at this new character, to look at everything this character means and what it represents. And you end up with 32,000 posts about this one image.
Which it
But
is
it's not-
we're taking things too far, but why have we become so spoiled? Can you
I-
answer me that? Why do we have to have so much hype? Why does the next thing have to be bigger and better than the previous when we can have just as much fun? Because I'll tell you what, I'm a huge fan of the Aliens Colonial Marines that everybody hated because, yes, you have to understand, it's like a 7-year-old game that finally got released. And it is actually really fun if you just take everything away from it and play with people. We had the best fun. We had so
You
much
mean
fun playing.
if you took the single player experience out?
No, it was a single player game, co-op. We had so much fun because we were fans and we went into understanding, this is an old game, there's going to be some problems, but we didn't let that ruin it for us. A lot of people will let that ruin it for you straight up.
Well,
the hate for No Man's Sky this week has been crazy.
But I think what's worse than the hate for No Man's Sky is the defenders of No Man's Sky. Those guys are worse than the
But
haters.
this is games all over the place. Like, people are already trashing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and it's not even out yet.
Well,
How can you
it's
trash it?
it's because of how the
pre-trash it.
trailer looks and a lot of.
But you
if
know what?
watch
It
okay,
looks fun.
Okay.
From the trailer, it like this. What was it today? Yesterday, everyone's trashing Metal Gear Survival because it's not a Metal Gear game. Yeah, they should have named that, but it still looks kind of fun. Because what's everyone's favorite mode of these games? Like the zombies, the horde, the survival mode. Just give that to us in a game, and we'll be fine.
and that's what I was saying. Like Metal Gear Solid Survival. If it was just called like Crash, like Otherworld Survival, like they took Metal Gear out of it, I don't think it would have had as much hate. You took an established franchise, and this is another part about the hype machine. You took an established franchise that people have been playing since the NES era, that got a boost during the PlayStation 1 era. PlayStation 1, by the way, about to hit 20 years old. And people have been playing
Oh, we
it.
feel old, don't
I just
we?
felt old. Like,
Right.
like Gavin and I, we grew beards.
But people, when an established title like that has, titles attached to it and things and years of experience and expectations.
But why can't we let it be an offshoot of the main series?
Because you
Why
didn't
can't we
call
allow
it.
things to have offshoots now that still, because it probably has the main mechanics of Metal Gear probably still there. And
No,
it's
it doesn't look like it.
We don't know because we have, and you're
just
trashing
a
it because
trailer.
it's Metal Gear's in the title.
Right, because
You
it
haven't
has-
played it yet. People that have played it said it's actually kind of fun. It probably has the same type of
What
mechanics.
people have played it yet? It was a demo trailer.
Anyways,
Who's played it?
I'm not going to get that with you right now. But
Nobody's played it.
it probably has the same core as Metal Gear, just with the new group of people in a different survival setting.
So it has the stealth, the espionage, the hunting, the finding.
Probably, yeah.
No, it has zombies.
I think part of it's just how they marketed it.
Yeah.
If you put that on the front, sure, you can do offshoots because several games have different offshoots and side stories
Like
and things like
Vengeance,
that.
yeah.
But you got to package it right. If you don't package it right, if you don't prepare your audience ahead of time that this isn't your standard cookie cutter experience that all of these other ones have hit as far as the franchise is concerned, then they expect the offshoot, the difference. Like Final Fantasy Tactics, it's different than Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So, but you got to market it in the way that people will understand it.
But the problem is you can hear from him already. It should be called Final Fantasy. Like, they should be called Metal Gear. They're
Yeah.
already angry without really getting into the story and getting into what it's going to be about, because we are spoiled. That is proof positive we are spoiled by you saying no. They should just not call it Metal Gear.
Okay. Great example of this is Halloween 3.
We're not talking about movies.
But no, this is a perfect example.
We're not talking about movies. We're talking about video games. No one
Right.
wants to talk about horrible season in
There's
which that
a-
movie was crap
Right.
Technically a video
But why
game.
was it crap?
because it was just a bad story.
No, because it was called Halloween 3.
No, because it was a bad story. But we're back onto video games.
Okay, the other reason that companies put a lot of hype behind this is what is the price of a video game?
Well,
$60,
no, it's not
basically.
$60.
No, it's
You're
$60.
climbing up over 100 because every game you get is incomplete. You pay to complete it with DLC.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So you're paying over $100 for a lot of these games that really should only be about 50.
right. So when you're dropping $50, it's like the old console days where people had to clam onto a gaming system and say, "This is the most perfect gaming system ever," because they couldn't afford to get another system. It's why, like,
Yeah, but now you can get games on any system you have in your house. You can
Right.
get it on your mobile phone.
right. But the difference is a lot of people. From that, you now have people who can only afford maybe 1 or 2 games a month. Or when a Steam sale happens, you buy. No, dude, it's true. Like
I get that because like Amazon, if you're Prime and you pre-order anything, it's like less than $50 with
Right.
tax and shipping. So it's amazing. But the problem is going back to DLC, we've allowed it to happen.
Yes.
We've allowed these. You can't always blame the fans. It's also the game developers as well.
No,
like
no,
there
this-
is no the one thing going back to No Man's Sky. They said it should be about $20. They should never
Yeah.
have charged that much money for that game.
I paid 60.
We talked about Ultimate Alliance, a repackage of an old game from 10 years ago. They're charging full price for. Should not be that way.
No.
But they're doing this because they get away with it.
But
and
they're
we
not.
allow them to get away with it.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say if people pay for it, we're actually telling them please keep doing this because that business model works. If you
Yeah.
do this DLC that's gonna nickel and dime us, we will pay for it. Therefore, company, please keep doing it because we're just gonna do it.
Star Wars Battlefront's a prime example of that. Half the game is DLC.
Right, but as an example, going back kind of with the movies analogy a little bit, in the 80s we had 3D movies. Nobody bought the 3D movies. What did they do? They stopped making 3D
They
movies.
didn't buy 3D movies at home because it was red and blue glasses. They weren't marketed for home. Now they are marketed for home, but people don't like having to wear the glasses. That's why they went with the theater ready, like I have at my house, which is much better than watching a 3D movie in a movie theater.
Right.
But we're not talking about movies.
But it's
Kim, you're supposed to be wrangling us.
I can't even get a word in
Round
edgewise.
four,
Ding,
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 ding.
ding. Yes.
so, but
I should be the card girl.
but moving on to indie games a little bit.
See, indie
We
games
were
seem
already
to-
back on video games because that's
Yeah.
where
No,
No Man's
indie-
Sky came from.
The only thing in my opinion, that indie games is doing wrong is they all want to be the 8-bit pixelated style. When
Not really.
when we go to South by Southwest Gaming, and we go to those other ones, everyone's developing some sort of 8-bit pixel style game.
It's the
It's-
retro thing.
It's one of the retro things, but there's actually other indie games that
There
aren't
are
doing-
other ones, but the majority of them, you cannot lie, are 8-bit pixel games.
That's because with indie games, it's what's popular, and they're trying to get on the Steam front page. And how they do that is they make
I like the ones who go out and do their own thing.
right.
Well, that's basically what they're trying to do because the top tier companies
Mm-hmm.
are not going to do 8-bit anything. So that's how they stand out. They bring that nostalgia back by putting it into their indie game, and that's how they stand out. But with everybody doing it, then no one stands out.
And then they have to learn go beyond that. I mean, we've seen games that go beyond that. So I mean, it's just a matter of time and giving people a chance to do it. I mean, the concept of mass indie success. I mean, like all the stuff like that Devolver Digital does. Like, not everything's 8-bit there. I mean, some of it's 32-bit, or some of it's like all the way up to what current standard graphics look like. And
Well,
it's
the
just a matter
other
of
thing
time.
is we met, what was it, Iron Galaxy, the one who did Killer Instinct?
Yeah.
Their model was, we're releasing a game now with characters as you go so that people can start playing it. I don't agree with that. I mean, they got it to work, but a lot of studios are not getting that to work. I think that's why they do the DLC model, because you get a half of a game, which is exactly what I feel happened in Pokemon Go. We got like an eighth of a game from what they said they were going to do. And we're allowing this to happen. So we are spoiled because we have to have it now. We can't let things be good. And I'm terrified for Crackdown 3 because they're promising completely destructible environments. And I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to pull that off.
No, they
Because
can.
I tried to not go into any games with expectations. The only game I had expectations for was Mass Effect and did not let me down. Even the ending of it, that's their ending, that's fine. That's what it was destined to be. That was their story, not mine, but I enjoyed playing it. So I'm not going to sit here and raise a fuss over an ending and make them completely change it like they did.
I think with overall, when we talk about hype, I think what we can all boil this down to is if we as gamers would speak with our wallets. As an example,
We do. We shell out that money all the
Yeah,
time.
right. but turn that off. As an example,
And not play games? Is that what you're saying? Just stop playing video games?
Okay, I'm sorry. How many games are in your Steam library?
I don't play on PC.
Okay,
I play on my
let me
Xbox.
correct this. Kim, how many games are in your Steam library right now?
It's 3 digits.
And
And
you buy
not
most of them
low
on sale?
3 digits. Yeah. Or there's some of them that are free that
Yeah.
I've had for a long
But
time.
same
or
here.
gifts.
I'm
I have
like
a
the three
couple because they were on sale for like $2 or $3 that I enjoyed, but I just can't do anything on a PC.
Here's the thing. If you want to hurt a game company, you know how you hurt them?
Pocketbook.
You don't Yeah, your pocketbook. You don't buy it day one. All gaming companies care about is what was our first week sales? What was our release numbers? That's why when Madden comes out, nobody releases any other game that week unless it's not a sports game.
Because it's Madden. Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
Because
care.
Madden still sells.
I don't
like,
understand it. It's the same game every year. They may as well just do
Exactly.
DLC
That's
and
why
update
they
the old
had
But
to
they
one.
sell
That's why they
35
had to add
million
sweat,
copies
though.
of that game on the first week.
But that's why they had to add sweat. It is the same game.
It's the
and
same
that's
yeah,
what
exact game.
the up is. Because how do we set it apart from everything that's cookie cutter behind it? Well, let's add sweat. Let's add, this. Let's add that. Let's add something that makes it different. And then we
Black
advertise
alternatives.
it as being that
New.
new greatest thing, the better graphics, because now you can see the sweat.
Right. I think, we speak with our wallets. We stop buying games. An example, Batman Arkham Knight. The last Rocksteady thing.
Which no one knows how that one went bad when they did so well with the first one. So.
The first, but at the same time, the PC port was so bad, nobody on the PC.
Well, it's a PC port. It's made for consoles. Sometimes it's hard to port.
No.
it over to PC.
That is a
Did you just huff at me?
yes.
You did just huff at me.
That is
It's
a
because you're wrong and you know you're wrong.
no. That
Gamer
is a
hype is dangerous. Gamer
It-
hype
no,
is
gamer
very
hype,
dangerous.
Gamer hype is very dangerous. Gamer praise is also very dangerous. Look what happened to like Jim Sterling, a couple Total
But,
Biscuit.
yeah, they have to get paid for positive reviews.
No. Jim Sterling doesn't. But they shut his website down. The pro No Man's Sky people did a DDO attack on his website, Total Biscuits too, and shut his
Gamers
site.
are douches these days.
Yes.
Bottom line. And
Right.
I
They
think
were
it's-
always douches.
Well, I
Right.
think it's going to make things in the future very, very hard. And just talking to these developers that were like, yeah, but we can't risk it because they would lose a lot off of it. They're like, I was going after someone from Destiny because Destiny is the king of gamer expectation right there. So you and I are gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
I think we agree on a lot of things. I think
You don't seem to think it's a big problem, though.
no. I think it's an incredible problem.
Then why didn't you say it at the beginning?
All this time they've been agreeing, they just don't know.
No.
Yeah,
What
that's
you're
your
saying,
fault. You're the
No.
judge.
What you're blaming.
Okay, so I get to pick who's
I-
right and wrong?
What I'm blaming is not any one scenario here. What I'm
It's the
blaming
culture.
It's not even just the culture.
It
It's
is
the
the
culture.
culture.
It's the culture of us as gamers. It's the culture of the marketing department. It's the culture of
It all comes down because you have to satisfy the gamers at the end of the day.
right.
So
But
gamer hype is dangerous. And I'm stopping you because we're out of time. So we're out of time on this one. He just stormed off. Shoes are thrown. Here's our first flashback from years ago of me and my brother. Try to enjoy it, and we'll be back to talk to some nerd artists about the Austin Toy Museum event. So we'll be right back after this.
Can I say that? Can I talk
You
about
can
monster
talk
porn?
about monster porn all you want.
Because I mean that's what
what we used to call True Blood in my house, and that's essentially what it was towards the end of it.
Back to your point.